Good morning, everyone. This is Jennifer from JE Photography Design and also In the Box Education. I wanted to show you how to use these templates that I've made using clipping masks with any of your regular photos. These are for birthday or cake smashes. You could use them for birthday parties, whatever you would like. So there's various ones that are available in the store. There's this truck one, then there's a couple Easter ones that I've put in, and I'll be adding some as we go. So this is what it looks like done. So I've just taken a JPEG of what I've done, and I'm going to show you some of the ins and outs of it. So first off, you need to bring your photos in from Lightroom, or if you bring them directly into Photoshop, you edit them in there in the Camera Raw, and make sure they're, your white balance and all that stuff is ready to go. So I'm going to hide this thumbnail, and oops, I forgot to pull this back up. So everything is in layers. So when you open your template that you purchase, obviously my photos aren't going to be included. It's going to be everything from the saying here down. So you can turn the sayings off and on. There's two different ones. You can turn them off and on. If you don't want anything and want to put your own, you can easily do that, or you can use one of the two that I have. It's the same saying, just in different fonts. Some people like different wording or different fonts. Also, as you can see on this part here where it's supposed to look like the dirt coming out of the dump truck, it has the words "dig it" in there. So I have a yellow behind it. I put yellow because I had yellows for the cake smash. So you can either have that plain white, so when you put your picture in, that part will be cut out. You can change this color to whatever you want. Or if you don't want words in there at all, you can turn that layer off, it's called top of truck, to just this one here, which has no words in it. So it's up to you really which one you want to use and how you want to use it, whether you want it plain white. So for example, I'll flip back to here. This right here, dig it, that's where I put the yellow behind it. So you can't really see it that much, but when you actually look at the photo, you do notice it. So I'm going to do one actually as an example without the words in there. And also, I just added, because I thought I was missing something here on the cab of the truck, so I added a little window, which when you put your pictures in, it's going to, when you clip it, it's going to go around, so this part is still going to stay white. However, if you want a full picture, if you don't want the window cut out, you can click this one here. There's cab and cab with window. So it's up to you which one you want to use. So let's do the cab with window. Now, I have all my photos brought in. What I'm going to start doing is, I have them all turned off right now. I have all the layers turned off. I'm going to turn them on one by one, and I'm going to resize them. So I've got this one selected, which is layer 2, and I'm going to free transform it. So I want it to be this one here. I want it to be the top of the dump truck. So I've got my layer 2. I've got it kind of sized roughly. It's overhanging everything, but when I drag it down, I'm going to put it directly above the top, the layer that I want it on. So the black shape, I guess you could call it, that I want my picture to fit into is where I'm going to drop it. So layer 2 is going to be directly above top. Or if I was doing the one with words, I would put it above top of truck. So now that I've got it there, I've kind of got it resized. I'm going to right click, and that brings up this menu. And I'm going to say click on the Create Clipping Mask. And what that's going to do is actually clip that picture to that shape. So now, as you can see, it took away everything else because it's clipped to the shape. So you can move your photo around. But the more you move it, as you can see over on the left side, there's black now. Because my photo is not large enough to move it over here, I would have to expand it, free transform it and make it bigger. So we're just going to do it like that for now. So you can see the one, you can see his little face. It's kind of fun. So my next one, I'm going to turn the layer on, is this one here. I'm going to do, click on the layer first of all. I'm going to do Edit Free Transform. I'm going to retransform it. And that one is going to go over here. So I can tell this one's quite big right now. So I want to just free transform it a little bit more. And going to do that. And you have to bear with me. My computer, for some reason today, in the mornings, is super slow. So now I'm going to bring that layer down. That shape that I'm working on is called rear of truck. So I've taken this photo here, over top of this layer here, and I'm going to right click, create clipping mask. So now I want to see if I can shrink this a little bit more. As you can see when I click on free transform, there's a little bit more room I can work with. So I'm going to transform this as much as I can without making the picture, without seeing the black, any of the black shape appear. So I'm going to move it over a bit. And this is the great thing about the clipping masks. You can move them and do whatever you want with them. So I want to make sure that the pie is in the picture down there. Okay, so my next photo. Turn it on. I'm going to edit, free transform it. And I know that there are, oops, sorry, I forgot to actually click on the layer. I know there are shortcuts, Control T, Command T. I don't know, I'm used to going up to the file, or up to the edit up there. But if you know the shortcuts to editing stuff, by all means, use shortcuts. Because it does make life a lot quicker, easier, and simplified. But I'm a stickler for doing things the way that I've learned, and that's how I work. That's how I roll. Okay, so I've done that one. I'm going to move my layer now. That's the middle of the truck. I'm going to create a clipping mask, and voila. Next layer, turn it on. Let's see if I do Control T. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that. Ba, ba, ba. It's like I learned a whole new thing today. It's going to save me a whole, half a second in my editing. Yippee! So this one I'm just editing again. So this is the one, this shape that I'm working on right now is the one that you can turn on and off the window. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm just kind of lining it up there. So this layer I can put down here. So we're going to do it the cab with window. So I'm going to create a clipping mask to that. And as you can see, it cuts out part of that picture for the window. I'm going to move it over a little bit. Like that. But if I didn't want that window cut out, I can release that clipping mask. I'm going to hide that cab with window. I'm going to turn on this one there. Move the layer. And now I'm going to create the clipping mask. So now there's no window. So it's completely up to you how you want your photo to look. I kind of like the window. I think it's, I don't know, just adds a little bit to the photo. And you can always change the background too. I'll get to that in a second. So lastly, I've got two more left. I'm going to Control T or Command T on a Mac. And these ones are pretty much the same thing. You're just putting it in here. And you are just moving it down to the wheels and adding a clipping mask. Once my computer, it's going to transform. So to change the background, you're just going to click on the layer at the bottom, and you can go up to Image, Adjustments, and you can change, actually no, the easier way is to take your paint can, to pick a color. Oh man, this is so slow. Pick a color with your paint can. Make sure your layer is on. Make sure you're clicked on your layer. Use the paint bucket and just click in the white space, and it will change everything there. So now, finally, that this photo, this one here, moved the way I needed it to. I'm going to go back to my selection tool. I'm going to put this over the wheel. I'm going to add a clipping mask. And I have one photo left. I'm going to edit free. See, again, force of habit, edit free transform. And, oh, I forgot to click on the layer. So Control T. I'm going to shrink that, move it to roughly where I want it, bring it down, bring the layer down on top or over top of that wheel, and create the clipping mask. So now I have all of my photos in. So as you can see, this one here, there's a little bit of black showing. So I'm going to actually move that up a bit, and that hides that. And for fun, I'm going to show you what happens if you use the Digit. This one up here. So I just moved the layer. I turned this one off, turned this one on. I'm going to create the clipping mask. And if you did that, see how it comes in as the color of your background? And it's just something fun. You don't have to use that one if you don't want. And like I said, you can change any of this. So now I just notice actually as you change the background, the part of the train, the little wheels don't change. So if you want that to be colorful, like your background, you'll have to go in and do those separately. Anyways, that's how you use the clipping masks for these types of photos. This works for any of the templates that I've put out, like the Little Miss or Little Mr. Eggs, Dreamly Cute, or the Little Miss Cottontail. Same concept for all of them using the clipping masks. So hopefully that works or helps you. I would highly recommend once you do this that you save a working copy if you want as a PSD. Don't copy over your master file though, because you will be upset with yourself if you do. Anyways, hopefully that helps, and enjoy the templates. Thanks and have a great day.